Hey everybody, how you doing? I know it's late in the evening and it's Halloween evening, so All Hallows Eve and all that fun stuff. So, happy Halloween! Hope everybody's safe. Glad everybody's back. Sounds like you guys are back from HallowCon. So, thank you, Carl and Donna, for stopping in. I know there's going to be a few people here tonight that are checking in with us. So, I got a few things I'm going to go over. Yeah, just going to be kind of a quiet night, about an hour, and we're just going to go through and I'm going to do some of the artwork I'm continuing on from a couple nights ago. And yeah, so that's cool. So hopefully everybody's doing well. Um, yeah, no sponsors tonight or anything like that. We're just going to be talking about Grimm and what's going on with that. And that's it. So should be a good time. Let me switch over real quick. We'll get the ball rolling here. All right. And I think we can. Let me just bring that up. Can you guys still hear me? I think you can, but pretty sure you can. Got a couple things I'm going to work on with this one tonight. This is a pretty easy piece that I'm going to be working on, but I'm kind of go back and forth. So Carl says we're still catching up from being gone, but this is good to see. Good. Glad. Well, I know you guys are probably tired too. The drive is not an easy thing. I'm sure. I don't know how far it was, but that's cool. Okay, so Donna can hear us. That's good. Sounds like it was a good time. Looked like it was a good time. I don't know if want to hear more about this moonshine that you guys were drinking. It sounds pretty scary. Very apropos for Halloween. It sounds like. We've been watching Harry Potter and that in the other rooms. If you hear Harry Potter, it's Chris is still watching it. Been busy. We had a few people come over from Chris's work. They had the kids came by and got some candy, walked the beach. That was kind of cool. That's a little different. I don't remember walking any beaches when I was a kid growing up in Detroit, especially on Halloween. But how were the accommodations down at Georgia, guys? How was it? Let me know. I know we'll be going there next year, so should be a good time though. Looking forward to it. I had one of those Brazilias today. That was a good cigar, man. That was like such a good cigar. I got to order up a couple more of those. They're a beautiful cigar for the money. Definitely gonna have to do that. Yeah, yeah. I think. I figured it would be cold and rainy. It's time of year, right? Doesn't matter where you're at in the United States, unless even California was cold and rainy. From what I was hearing, so this last week or whatever it was 50 degrees or something where we were at a month ago. So they've got I don't know. The weather was just been really weird. It was warm today up here, which is good, but it's it's fall, so whatever. If it's not raining, I'll take it. It's pretty good today though. It was pretty sunny and it was actually quite nice. So I didn't really have a chance to enjoy it a whole lot outside. I've been finishing up an article for somebody and I've got to get some other stuff worked out here and I've been working on this and that, moving some stuff around and all that stuff. So I'm trying to balance it all out. I got a lot going on right now. So hey Sarah, how you doing? Nice to see you. So yeah, I'm working on I've got a few pages right now. This is going to dry a little bit here. I'm actually going to pat that down a little bit. This one I'm going to add some colors to this that are going to be a little different, but real muted nonetheless. I'll show you what I've been working on though. If you guys remember a couple nights ago, I'm still working on this piece here. This was the okay, the mausoleum, excuse me. This is the mausoleum. I'm still working on that. I've got a couple things that I'm pulling out with the yellows and the greens, and you can see how the wall in the back, like we were talking about, is the trees in that are going to be more subdued. They're going to be towards the back. I'm adding a little bit more color in this book, just because it's just part of the um, it's just part of the ambiance or what I kind of what I'm thinking with Gwendolyn. I think that it's just more colorful. It's more of a endearing, a lot of greens, a lot of neutral tones, not so drab in that. So it's becoming more lively. The store is becoming more lively. I'm reading this too. Okay. First kiss was free. The second kiss cost me $10. Okay. Don't know what that's about, but okay. Sounds interesting weekend. But yeah, cool. Yeah, so things are good. Yeah, so that's where that's at right now. I'm still working on that though. That's going to take me a little bit of time with that. I'm still working on the mausoleum and the crypt, and it's a little tilted, which that's what I wanted anyway. So I'm pulling that together. I think it's going to look really good when it's finished. But you can see the layers I'm trying to get with the watercolor. Not an easy thing to do, but it does take me a little time to do that. So hopefully you guys like that one. I'm digging it. I'm thinking it's working. I'm gonna let that other part dry there. I'm gonna bring this one back in. I'm gonna add some blues to this. Now I brought in the standard brush that I usually use. It's a smaller brush, but compared to the other ones that I usually use, they're a little bit broader. But I don't know, you guys. Let me throw this out here too before we start this. You guys have seen the figure that Damien sent me, right? I don't know if you guys saw that a couple nights ago. Just wanted to show it. I'm going to start painting this week to get a feel for the actual the tones and everything. But man, did this turn out great. Really pleased with it all. That is just a great figure, and I'm looking forward to getting those out to people that ordered them. But yeah, beautiful stuff. I mean, the code itself is so cool. It's just he did such a smash job on this. So, but yeah, it's just really, really great. I think it's going to really work out well with this. So, looking forward to it. Okay. Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate that. Let me just put this over here. I'm sure you are tired, Carl, no doubt. Sure, there's a lot going on. I mean, you got how many hours you guys drive? Must have been pretty hefty amount of time in the car. I can imagine, but 7 hours driving. Okay, well that's good. That's one way, I'm sure. Fun stuff. I don't know. That's 7 hours isn't bad. It's probably going to take me 7 hours to get down to Lafayette or Danville or anything when we do anything down there. But that's not too bad for me. I'm not a big, it won't be too bad. So we'll have to see how that all pans out. What we're going to be doing next. I don't know when we're going to be at a next Comic Con, but it'll be fun. So I'm adding this blue tone. This blue tone was close to what the original blue tone was on the first book. And I wanted it to get it just to give it just enough not texture, but just enough patina so that it's bringing in some similarities to it. I wanted it so that you've got you're building a color scheme for Jim, and I really want it so that people are starting to feel when they see the color, they're going to automatically say, "Oh, okay, that's cool. That's going to be a Jim panel or whatever." But yeah, I'm trying to get it to the where it's really bringing. I'm trying to bring in as many color tones that are similar, so that you can kind of identify with the character, if that makes any sense at all. But trying. But yeah, it's gonna be a nice look when it's all done, I think. I'm looking forward to getting that down. But again, I'm adding layers to this. Again, layer upon layer, and then we'll have to take it back a little bit, see what we've got. But I think that's going to be pretty sweet. I'm looking forward to getting this down to where it's. And I might end up. I'm going to add some white to this too. I usually don't add white to a lot of my watercolors, but I'm going to add. I've got an acrylic white to symbolize rain and a few other things I'm going to be doing for texture. But so I'm looking forward to that. I think it's. I think, can you guys? I'm sorry, I'm moving away from the mic here a little bit, but I think that there's definite room for to where I think Jim's character with the color tones, you guys are going to understand where I'm going with everything with him. But from that, and I like working with the brush too. I like working with the brush markers, the watercolor markers. But I do like the control I've got with with the brush work too. It gives me some stippling effects I can take and some chisel effects that bring in, a little bit, and it kind of muddies it a little bit, which is kind of nice too. But like I said, I'll figure that out as I go. But I think that's not bad. Sometimes I keep the sketch lines in, sometimes I don't. It really just depends on how I'm feeling. But I'll see how it looks once it's dried, and then we can kind of work with that, and we'll see where we're at with that. But that's not bad. I think that's a good color tone. That's good for me. I'm feeling really good about this. So once that dries, I think it's going to be a nice piece. I'll come back to this in a minute. Well, I'm glad everybody had a good time, though. It looks like you guys had a great time down there. I know that there's, I don't know what the sales were like. I'm sure that was, it still has to remain to be seen what you guys made or what you didn't make. But I'm going to add blue in this too. Usually I add gray, but I'm going to do blue on this, and I'm going to tab it down a bit, and then we'll see where we're at with it. I'm using very minimal amount of ink on this or watercolor because I want it to be, like I said, ethereal, like we talked about from the get. I want it to be almost like it's a cloudy, misty floor, if you want to call it that. And then I'll sketch this out a little bit more. I'll bring in some textures to this, and we'll see how that goes. And then what I'll do is I'm going to bring in just a little bit up here just to soften this up a bit, so it looks a little cloudy, but not too much. And it's kind of weird because of the way this light is. Sorry about that. The light's pretty dark, or pretty bright. Sorry, and I'm gonna have to add a little bit more on here to get just enough. But I think you guys are getting what I'm trying to throw down here. So I'm liking this too because I can show you guys as I'm making headway on the project. I'm trying to get each page to have its own identity, and I think that it's getting there. I think it's working. I'm glad that you guys are part of it, because not all the time I'm not going to be able to do it live shots all the time on this, but I think that it's going to work out well with the overall book, because people know which, and when they're picking out the art too, if they end up getting that add-on or whatever it was that we have for the buy-in on these pieces of art, they're already knowing, they're looking for what they're finding out what they can get and what they can't get, or what's available, because some people already bought up. I have a lot of people already bought the art, which is good. I'm really glad about that. So I'm going to add some more to that in a bit, but that's pretty cool. I'm happy with that too. Thanks, Sarah. Well, it's my privilege. I'm glad you guys can do it. I'm glad you guys can enjoy it, because I know a lot of people don't. Some people don't do this. They don't show their techniques and stuff, and I think that's a shame. And sometimes it makes people nervous too. I don't consider it competition. If I can help somebody draw something and express themselves. Hey, I did my job. Sorry, I got to get a drink of espresso there. Gonna be up tonight working on this. Now this one's gonna be a little bit different. In this, there's gonna be some reds in this. So, and I'm trying to figure out. I'm probably gonna have. It's already got the gray tones down, but there's gonna be some red poppies in this. The ground is gonna be a little bit more mossy. And so I'm gonna play around with this a little bit. Let's see if we can bring in some greens on this first, and then see where we're at. In the story, the gate, one of the gates is very rusted, and I want to show people that element because I think that's it's a character in itself. I think in a lot of this, um, you'll understand what I'm doing here in a second. I'm going to bring this in at first as the undertone, and then I'm going to bring in a yellow to make it pop. And like I said, I'm trying to bring in just a few more colors on how I think that the character wise, I think that with Gwen, I think it's more colorful. I mean, that's it. She's a different type of character. She's not Jim, and he's a different type of being. So when you got, I think that when you got color tones for different uh, characters, I think it really you don't even realize what you're looking at a lot of times because it's such a blend of different feelings. Even though you got different colors and different palettes, you still have a different. Um, it's almost subliminal in a way, and that's a really I think it's a cool thing. Some people don't like it because they think they're being fooled or whatever, but it's not that way. It's not meant to be that way. Okay, let's bring in some more of that. You'll see as I go to as this dries, we'll add some more. Take some out, and then we've got Carl's favorite part: the making of the bookmarks. And you can see how this blends in pretty easily when you get going. See what that's doing here in a little bit. We'll see how that all adds up in a minute here. But it's adding, then smudging, then adding, smudging. So it's a little bit of a, you've got to work quickly on this too. Some of it doesn't work well, and you have to be careful because it'll start running, and then it gets really, it gets kind of be a mess. So I don't want to muddy it up. When I colored growing up, I would imagine that they were coming in life. Yeah, I get that totally. And I think we all do when we're kids. I think that's kind of a thing that I think that we all kind of do because our world when we're younger like that, a lot of us, our worlds just revolved around coloring. We were if you had a good upbringing, I was really fortunate because we always had things to draw or things to draw with. My parents were, my dad was an artist, so it was kind of a given. I think they took my pacifier away and gave me a pencil or a crayon to start drawing right away. I was drawing since I was like probably 2 or 3, coloring at least. Um, but yeah, it's in your DNA. I mean, at least with my family, it's just that's just part of what we do. It's funny that some siblings don't have it. I you know they I always thought that they did, but my for some reason my brothers and that some of them just didn't embrace it. They just didn't go for it. They didn't really have a desire to do it. They didn't have a desire to do art, which really shocked me, especially with my dad as prolific as he was as an artist. You would think that that would be a a common thing in the family, right? But whatever, teach their own. So, but just going to bring in some oranges here first before I bring in any reds. You'll see what I'm doing here in a minute. It looks kind of funny right now. Just wait once I start throwing some other colors down. As soon as I find the other colors, wherever they are. Give me 1 sec. that's not it. Hold on a second. It's hiding behind here. There we are. Grab these. So what was the highlight of the whole weekend, guys? Give me something here. Did you get more of an idea from the painting from your experiences in Cali? Yeah, I think so. I think that there was yeah. I didn't really since we went to cemeteries out there, they're different out there though. They're not it's weird. The ground the ground is like really smushy there. I know it sounds funny, but I think they just overwater everything, and it's kind of it just is a really weird thing being out there. In that regard, we weren't. It was just really odd. I mean, it's one thing with having all of our cemeteries here and that, and the ground is different here. I mean, even though I've got a lot of sand and a lot of um, gypsum, and there's quite a few different things that are here in the area that are very I don't know. It's just different. The ground's different where we were when we were out in California. I think that there's the feeling I got out there though. It was kind of like not remorse is the right word, but when you have all these people, all these people that you've not admired, but they've been in your home growing up. I mean, you can't. I mean, Merv Griffin and Jack Lemmon and all, even Betty Page or it's kind of weird. It's very surreal being out there because you've never thought that you'd be in life you'd ever see these people, right? And it's and here and you're within 6 feet of them now, literally. I mean, they're very it's a very eerie feeling. So I don't know if it's good or bad. It's just the way it is. I think that the reality of it all, I guess, the humanity of it all, the ending of it all, with that, these people are they're gone. So it's just a different thing. And then this in the storyline, we're not seeing that in this book. We're seeing it very um, very much alive, and they're very much interacting together. These people, or these beings, I should say, whether it's Gwen or whether it's Jim. You've got. I'm going to tone that down a bit. Like I said, that it's going to look funny right now with these LED lights and everything. Once it tones down, I'll be able to do a few things with it. But the biggest thing out there I learned is that these, life's fleeting, right? And the people that are laid to rest there, they lived life to the fullest. I mean, a lot of them almost to their, detriment. To a lot of them to their detriment. They really had. Some of them are really had some pretty crazy personal lives, and then other ones had just boring lives. They weren't really anything out of the ordinary. They were super actors and everything else. They had a lot of money, but you can't take it with you. Thanks. Appreciate that, Sarah. Drinking in person with Dan and meeting most of the stupid that's cool. Yeah, Dan seems like a pretty top-notch guy. I'm looking forward to meeting him. He's a good guy, I think. Good creator too. I mean, and it's like with you guys. I mean, I can't wait to meet you guys. It's just ridiculous. We've known each other for a year. We have never met each other in real life. So, but that'll change. I know we're going to get there soon. So, okay. Just give me a minute on that. Like I said, they're really bold colors right now. So don't write me off yet, because there's a method to the madness. So, and I'm just trying to build up layers that I can take down in a bit here if it gets too much. Man, it looks really dark on this. It's not that dark on the. It looks really dark on camera, but it's not that dark, honestly. Honestly, yeah, those LEDs don't really make it. It looks super dark. It's not though. One of the things too, when you rub the paper too much, it'll actually take the patina off. So you got to be careful with that. Do a couple things to it to take that down. It's not a big deal, but and that's part of how it rolls. That's watercolor. And some of this, like I said, I'm going to add white too. I've got a few things that I'm going to do, and I add my own textures to a lot of this too. It looks very dark on this though, and it won't look that dark when we're actually getting it finished. I don't know why it looks so dark on the screen though. Man, it's really dark. It's not that dark, and it's like gray. Yeah, and then as I go with you'll see what I'm talking about soon. So, and this we'll have to come back to this probably during the week and just show people how this ends up being. There's a method to the madness. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Come back to this one. And then I'm going to end up layering a couple things with the gate too, oranges, and I'm going to almost like a bronze effect when I'm done there. Let's go back to this one. You can see how really light tones that's coming together, so that's good. Yeah, on the screen here, it's looking that one's really looking dark, and it looks too clean. It'll be, obviously, I'm going to be taking it down quite a bit. And if not, then I'll start fresh. If it doesn't dry the proper way, then I won't keep adding any patina to it or any color. This one's looking pretty good though as it's drying. So that one's coming together. I'm gonna have like overgrown, more moss and more overgrown statements here, cracks in it. There's gonna be a lot of yeah, it's gonna look really good when it's done. So, but I like the green tones on that. You said you got a stalker? That's not good. Or did I misread that? Never a good thing. How was the food down there, guys? Was it any good? That's good. It's not great if you can't enjoy the food down there. I mean, that's, you guys driving so far, you would think they'd have decent food, but also depends on what you can eat and what you can't eat. I mean, that's big for me and Chris because of the gluten thing, but we're about a half an hour in. That's good. Started here. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure you are self-entertaining. Well, looks like you guys had a good time on the back of the cereal box show. Like looks like you had a pretty good turnout. I don't know. It's easy, it's hard to tell when you guys are on camera, or you guys weren't, but it's hard to tell when um, everybody's on camera and you guys are out in the audience. You just think it's everybody's there. Maybe you guys weren't. I don't know, but it looked like it was fun. And I was hoping that there would be good foot traffic, but like I said, I don't know how all that turned out. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what Chris and I do anyway. We'll take coolers of food with us because that way we know we're going to be what we can eat. Because sometimes if the food's prepped and somebody just adds something of wheat in it somewhere, and that's like the death. That's like instant death. It's terrible for us. So, but yeah, that's part of the game. We've learned it the hard way. But then we're sure that we can eat. I mean, and it saves money too, which I don't think is a bad thing. I mean, there's certain things if we want to go out for a steak or something like that when we're out. I mean, that's one thing, um, but yeah, if it's something that we can't have, then that can really ruin the whole trip if we're not careful. So yeah, so try not to do that. But I'm gonna add some ink. I'm gonna probably add some pencil to this to enhance it, but I'm gonna wait till that dries though, because I don't want it eating through the paper. Let's see how the blue man's doing here. That's pretty good. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look too bad. All the food and drinks were free. Well, really? Wow. Can't beat that. Well, that's good. Nothing wrong with that, Sarah. Spending some time by yourself is a good thing. Sometimes. I mean, I get that. We it's not sometimes it's really good that way. There's a lot of people that should do that more. Save some money. Okay, let's see what I got here. Add some more of this. I'm not trying to make it look like he's got a glow around him, but I'm trying to, add that ethereal look to him still. So, and as I'm looking at this too, I might take it down just a tad bit because I know that there's with the moon or whatever that light source is, it should blend in. A little bit more. Yeah, then I'll add some more just throughout here just to see, just to bring in certain textures in that. But I think that's a win. I think we're good with that one. I don't think that's bad looking at all. So I think we're good on that one, I think. To come back on that one, I think here. Let me grab another one here. Hold on one second, guys. Okay. I think we're going to work on Gwen's garden. See where we're at with everything on this one. Do a test run on this real quick. Yeah, okay. I'm going to do this one, I think. So I'm going to add some reds to this just to get a feel for the layout of it. I know it's not exactly poppy color, but once I add a little bit of yellow or orange in this, it'll bring it out quite a bit. And then she's got this thing about poppies. She just loves them. And, you know, like I said, I want it really light. I don't want to have it to the point where it's just like exhausting to look at. And I can taper it down too with digitally once I figure out what I'm going to be doing. And the translucency is really what I love about watercolor. Being it's so translucent, it adds so much depth to it. I'm sure that you guys agree with that, but okay, so let's just put this over here. Just let that sit for a minute. I can't on my screen, man. The colors are just really bold, really, really vibrant. I don't know. It's not that vibrant in underneath these lights though. I'm glad it was a little bit. That's still a little hefty bill on the gas. But yeah, okay. I mean, it's $200, $200, I guess. Yeah, I'm not ready for big cons either, Donna. I don't think that's. Yeah, I just don't think that's going to happen right now. And like I said, not until next year. We will see as things roll on, but I think that's going to be it. I think that we're just going to wait. Like I said, I'm putting in undertones first, and then I'll bring some grade and a little bit more. Oh, good, you wore a mask too, huh? Good, that's good. Yeah, there's a lot of people are going out to a lot of the different things now. Big shows in that. I don't know. I guess use your discretion. I don't know. I'm just not a big. I'm not sold on it yet. Especially right now, without everybody getting their whatever third boosters or whatever. I'm still waiting. But okay. So Donna, when's the new book coming out, guys? I know you guys got a couple books that are happening here. So what's going on with all that? Tell me what's happening. Okay, cool. So it's in December. That's good. I couldn't remember if you said December or not, if it was January. So it's about quarter to 10 o'clock. So I'm probably drawing for another 15 minutes or so. Get you guys off the off to bed. Hopefully, I don't know. It's late. I know I want to. Heather Ellen's on here in a minute, so I'm gonna be. I think I'm gonna stay up and watch her for a few. And these ones too, I might end up doing ink over them because of the type of detail that they're bringing in. I don't know. I'm gonna see how it looks in a minute here, and kind of see if it's gonna work. I'd probably take this down a bit too, but And we'll have to see what that looks like here soon. But yeah, I might end up taking that down a bit, but still salvageable. That's one thing about the watercolor that you've got to be willing to work with it because that's the way it is. That's just that's how it works. So, and that's something too that you can add white to it. You can bring out the colors to it, but I'll bring out just a slight, maybe a point oh 0.01 line or something like that, just to be, so. Oh yeah, you are, aren't you? Well, I know it's. Yeah, I guess you guys you're up a little bit later than us Northerners. Okay, let's see. I've got a lighter tone gray. Yeah, blend that in a little bit more. Maybe bring in some darker colors here in the between the trees, but I have to let that sit and let it dry. And then we'll mimic mimic that too here. Hold on one second if I can do it again here. Hey Damon, what's up, man? Good. Be careful going home, man. Just take your time. No rush. Or don't, I should say, don't rush. You probably do have to rush home, but you know what I mean. Just be safe. I was just bragging about the figure here a minute ago when we first started here. So I was just telling everybody I'm just bringing in color right now to start building up the platform for the rest of it. It looks very gaudy right now. I'm going to bring it down here in a bit, though. It'll make sense on the next. Once it's in the book, you guys will understand. But I'll bring, I bring it into case like this now, and then I'll bring it down a bit in color. Some of them look a little bit bright tonight, but yeah, it'll be cool when it's all done. It'll be cool. But yeah, I'll try to blend in as much as I can with a lot of these pieces. But like I said, watercolor is not it's a very not forgiving material sometimes. So yeah, and so I'll add what I need to get things to where they cooperate a bit. So, but yeah, we'll get it figured out here. We'll add in complementary colors. That helps too. Bring out a lot of stuff in this because when you got greens and reds and that, you can actually bring in a lot of like I said, complementary colors, and you'll be able to add water to it a little bit and bring that out even further. So, and a lot of these in this foreground with the poppies and everything else, I'm going to add a lot of darker tones in this as I have some time to do that to kind of match into the fence area. But again, I'll have it really ethereal. It'll look like it's a foggy morning. That's the whole thing of it. So, like in this one, the gate, I know it looks really, really bright to me, the poppies and everything. Once I do a few other activities to it and bring in the other outlying details, you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it now. But right now, it's so bright, it doesn't look right. So, but I am liking the way that this turned out. Again, it's still not quite done yet, the mausoleum, but it's getting there. And I think we're gonna. I just want to see. I've got a little bit of yellows in here. It's working out well with that. I'm gonna probably end up having some more green, a little bit more green, a little bit more dark in through here. I might have some reds possibly. We'll have to see how that goes. But I think I'm gonna leave the the sky behind it just white. I think it needs that. I think it needs some type of because it's so dark. But I think that you're going to see once it's on page and in the book, I think you'll get a feeling for after the writings with it and everything else. I think you're going to see, uh, exactly how it all falls into play and how Jim's involved and how Gwendolyn's involved and all that. So, but yeah, I think that's it's looking pretty good so far. Yeah, and I think that this is come together too. Of course, you got the red book, Grim 101. It's the Jim's in the background. They're always carrying around with them, almost like it's Linus in a security blanket, in a way, but very true to his nature. So that's coming together well. And then, of course, we got his close up a little bit here, and I think that that's going to be a really nice piece once it's on the or in the book. I think it's going to be a nicer piece, and I might tone it down a bit digitally. We'll have to see what happens with it, and I might also I might do some more pencil scratching behind it too, just to give it some more texture on the sky. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But this is part of why I like doing watercolor, because uh, it ends up having an evolution to it. That's really important to my work, and because I don't know sometimes how it's going to look either. The art will tell me, what it wants a lot of times. You see guys that are sometimes they're doing it and it gets away from them, and then they can't really bring it back to what they want, and it just it doesn't look the way it should. I don't allow that. For however it looks, that's how it looks, and that's the way it is, and that's the way it was meant to be, as far as I'm concerned. Um, let's see. Do I do my own lettering? Yeah, I do. If you're asking me, I do. I have. Um, it depends on what you're asking. Architecturally, yeah, I always did my own hand lettering, because that's the way I was trained, um, and I've done a lot of signs and that kind of stuff. But as far as digitally, everything I do now is digital. When it comes to lettering, I'll scan the material, and then I'll put the bubbles in or whatever for the artwork, for the text and that for comics. And there is an art to it, though. There's certain people. Eric Hawkins really has it down. He knows what he's doing. So does Brian Rodman. The bubbles, everything that they work with, it's brilliant the way that they do it. I know mine's a little lacking on some of the stuff. I want it. Eventually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up paying a letterer, or learn a little bit more about it, so that I'm more proficient in it. But I'll see what happens. I mean, one of the things I am doing is Caitlin Ryan, one of my tech people. She's actually putting together a font with all of my architectural writing. So the way I make an A and a B and everything else, my signature alphabet, if you want to call it that. And she's going to make it into a font so that we can use it on all of my work. So it'll save time for me. It'll end up, and then everything will be in my hand, so to speak, even though it's digital. So that's what we're trying to do now. She's getting that. I know she'll probably end up getting that wrapped up first of the year. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That way it's mine. Anybody who looks at it will know it's my not my signature, but my the way I write. So I think that's kind of cool. I would suggest, if everybody's got the penmanship to do that, it would be awesome, because I think it really lends a just that extra touch. Obviously, when you're doing all the lettering, that it's so daunting that it would be nice to have it so that it's got uniformity to your your style, right? So I think it's a good idea. I think everybody should probably possibly do that. But yeah, I know that there's a lot to go through here, guys. We got a lot of artwork coming up here. I've got a ton of artwork I still have to do, so I'm probably going to end up doing another live next Saturday. I know I'm going to do a live show, and that's going to be more. I'm going to be more encompassing. I'm going to have a lot more work with that, and then during the week, I'll see how it goes. I've got a lot of shows coming up for the Grimm experience, so I'm going to be doing a lot of different shows this week. So. But yeah, we've been on for almost an hour, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Try to have a good evening. Happy Halloween. You guys be safe. I'm glad. Hopefully, everybody had a safe time of it. Got some candy, and I will see you guys. I'm actually going to be on Lewis Bright Raven's show tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. I already put it in my. It's on all over Ted Davies Artistry stuff. So check out what we're doing there. 8 p.m. Tomorrow night with Lewis. He's great. You should check out his reviews and everything else on his channel, Lewis Bright Raven. He's a really good guy. So check out everything he's doing. And then Tuesday, I've got Matt Knowles, the creator. He's a really cool steampunk creator. He and Steph Cannon. I had Steph Cannon on a show last year, and this year I've got Matt Knowles on, and he's going to be talking about his new campaign, and we're going to find out a little bit more about him and what he and Steph do. And really, really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing him. So, and then Wednesday we've got Truthmongers. We're going to do Roswell. Roswell, New Mexico. We're going to talk about the airship, everything that landed back in the 40s and all that fun stuff. And so Roswell should be a good one. I'm looking forward to that one. So, but yeah, so you guys get some rest. We will talk to you fresh this week. And hopefully everybody's safely home and tucked in bed. So we'll talk to you soon. Again, guys, thank you. And let me leave you with this.
Most of my life I've felt alone, but not here. I suppose living next to a cemetery, your neighbours are always close. It is peaceful and quiet, but not lonely. In fact, since my first visit amongst these graves, I've felt a presence, a calmness that fills the air and surrounds me like a gentle morning mist. That's how I know he is there. It's a feeling of being watched from afar. I wait in silence as well, until we meet.